Hey everybody, it's Ken Perry with Broker Knowledge Group. I am back. Sorry about last Wednesday. I actually skipped a Wednesday because I was busy getting our internet education completed. So that in 2012, we've got a brand new set of internet education. Our 2011 is still live and available on our website, brokerknowledge.com. Let me give you three things that I'm going to talk about today. Number one, we're going to talk about the State of the Union address and how interesting it was. Number two, we're going to talk about some compliance updates on things that I am just seeing way too much of and we're getting way too many calls on. And then number three, I want to leave you with kind of an announcement that's going on with us right now as far as some seminar type stuff that we're doing. So first off, State of the Union. Don't read too much into the State of the Union address. And I'm not sure if you saw the campaign speech last night, but it's available all over the interwebs. So if you Google State of the Union, you can actually see the speech. He just announced a lot of the things that are going on right now and the things that he'd really like to see done. What piqued my interest was two things. Number one, that he's talking about doing a HARP 2.0 type of a deal for everybody. What that means is no matter what loan you have right now, you would be able to just refi into today's interest rates, which would drop everybody down to like 4% and some change APR. And that might help, and actually it would help everybody short term to be able to bring their rates down and be able to make those payments, which then would continue a long-term growth because then they wouldn't have to lose their house if they could actually afford that payment. So that was the first interesting thing I heard. The second thing is he's creating a financial fraud unit to go after the old crimes. So he's basically saying, let's go figure out who messed us up in the housing market and let's get them and let's punish them. And so that's kind of a new thing that he's starting, which is with an attorney general going out and saying, you know, let's just bust everybody who had something to do with it. So who knows where that goes. Those were two interesting things that I heard out of that speech. One other thing, he talked about no bailouts, no handouts, no cop-outs. And what he's talking about is not bailing the banks out anymore. Plenty of bailouts coming for the consumers, don't worry, but the banks won't be bailed out anymore. I thought that was interesting. Okay, thing number two. Compliance updates. So we're getting tons of phone calls, and I just did a speech for the East Metro Association of Realtors over in Oregon last week, and in my speech I was talking about some of the things that are licensing issues that real estate agents are doing wrong. And I updated them, and then I got tons of calls afterwards going, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? So the things that I was talking about were the MAPS rule and just general licensing issues. By that I mean, if you advertise an interest rate as a real estate agent, you need to then do it in compliance with what's called the MAPS rule. That's the Mortgage Acts and Practices rule, just to make sure you're doing this right. And there's builders everywhere who are violating this by putting interest rates on their signs without the compliance of, you know, the disclaimer at the bottom, keeping your files for 2 years. There's a lot that you need to look into. For more information on that, go to the NAR's website, National Association of Realtors, and they have a little search engine, type in MAPS or Mortgage Acts and Practices. You'll get information on that. But mainly, if you're a real estate agent who is not licensed to do loans, don't talk about interest rates. It's that easy. When you talk to your clients, you talk about real estate, let your loan originator talk about interest rates. Because there is a point when you're referring to interest rates that you're actually acting as a loan originator, which is a huge problem. Because if you want to be a loan originator, you're going to need to take 20 hours of entry-level education, plus a test, plus a background check. There's tons to do to be licensed. Or you could work for a bank and not, you know, go through all of the testing and all that stuff. But just know, if you're going to talk interest rates, you're going to need a license. So make sure that you do that. By the way, if you guys have questions about that, go ahead and type it into the bottom of this video and we can kind of have that conversation. But it's just something I'm seeing too much. Another thing I'm seeing too much still is kickbacks. And everywhere I'm still seeing a loan originator goes to a real estate agent and says, here's what we want to do. We want to give you $8,000 a month. The real estate agent says, that sounds great. We'll call it a marketing expense, and off we go. And just know, in most cases, that's a violation of RESPA. A loan originator cannot give a real estate company or a real estate agent an amount over what would be goods or services actually performed. And so if you want to put your logo, if a loan originator wants to put their logo on a real estate agent's website, it needs to be for the exact same cost that you would get anywhere else. So just remember that, because I think RESPA is one of the ones that we're seeing violated over and over and over still. And we really need to clean it up. So that's my compliance update. Third, and this is actually some pretty cool and exciting stuff. I was invited to speak at the NMLS User Conference. That's the nationwide mortgage licensing system. Every year they have a user conference for the industry as well as all of the regulators. Everybody's kind of there. And I'll be on a panel in Scottsdale, Arizona, because as it turns out, we do a pretty good job with education. And so they've asked us to come, and I'll be a panelist talking about what it takes to create excellent education that people actually want to listen to. So it's going to be cool. If you're going, I look forward to seeing you there. If you're not, I'll come back from that and give you an update on what I heard, because the CFPB is going to be there and a bunch of other groups with information for you. All right, one final thing. Go please and type in theresource.tv. That was theresource.tv, and check out their video today because it's stinking hilarious. So make sure you do that. And I will catch you guys next Wednesday. If you have any questions, go ahead and write them in. Feel free to forward this video out to your friends. And remember, when it comes to NMLS training, when it comes to real estate training, and even keynote speaking, call Broker Knowledge Group. We'll take care of you. We'll see you guys next Wednesday.